Welcome to Red's Effects. First of all, right off the bat, I want to apologize for the format of this video. Unfortunately, this week it can't be avoided. But good news, we received our first ever request. Yes, I know, we've come a long way after 5 episodes. But let's take a look at that request right now. Inertia Studios asks, awesome tutorial. Can you do a tutorial on a stock footage explosion in a scene using Hitfilm? Or maybe background scene replacement? Keep up the good work. I will, and thank you, sir. Since we did fire effects last week and I did say that fire is basically the same as explosions, today we're tackling the second half of that request, which is background scene replacement. So let's jump straight into it. Okay, let's get this ugly ass sky out of here. Right, it's cold where I live and the sky is almost entirely white, which makes it super easy for us. So I'll hit the effects panel, keying, and drop the luminance key onto my footage layer. Right away, it takes out the one thing we want to keep. And we can't have that. So head to the controls panel, into the effects settings, and switch it to key out brighter. Now, as you can see, it does a pretty good job all on its own, but we can make it better by tweaking those settings. Now I should mention that these settings are going to be different for your shot and is dependent on how good your sky looks. But here are some basic principles. So I'm going to push my threshold up a notch to around maybe 0.5, then I'll pull the tolerance setting to 0.08. Basically you're refining the key and removing as much of the background as you can without damaging or removing the foreground. Now if you end up having trees in your shot like me and it still gives you a good key, then good for you, pal. But I was dumb and didn't notice these obvious problem starter trees here. So let's quickly remove these troublemakers. Luckily this process is quite easy in this case. So I'll select the freehand mask tool, and with my footage layer selected, I'll cut out these trees here, making sure to trace along the wall. Now go into the mask settings and click invert. Now do the same for any other trees you have in your shot. This time I'll change the mode from add to subtract. Now that that's out of the way, we can focus our attention on cleaning up the matte even more. So I'll go to the effects panel, keying once again, matte enhancement, and apply the matte cleaner effect to my footage layer. Again, this is individual to your shot. But for mine, let's see, maybe we can smooth it out to around maybe 6 pixels. Pump the feather up to 6 pixels as well and change the choke to around 2 pixels. Also click the view matte option over here and with your luminance key effect to see your progress. Whew, that's the tedious part done. Now for some fun. I'll drop the sky image or whatever you want your background to be below my footage layer. And because you cut a hole in the footage layer using the luminance key, it now appears as your background. Let's just scale and position that into a suitable place. There we go. Now it doesn't exactly fit into the shot as of now, so we have to make it fit by, you guessed it, color correction. So let's add a hue saturation effect to my sky, maybe reduce the saturation a bit. I'll add the curves effect to my footage and maybe drop the red channel down just a little. Very individual to your shot, guys. Now for a final step, I'll add an overall grade. So I'll create a new grade layer by clicking on the plus icon and selecting a new grade. Add curves to that. And now I'll pull the curve up to brighten it just a tad. For more tips on color grading, guys, you can check out my color correction and grading episode over here. And that's it. That's where you place your background. Very individual to your shot and whatever you want your background to be replaced with.